Righto, back to the scrap heap, back to my skip bin clothes, and today's little project, a Simpson 4 kilo dryer. This one is a 39p 400, it's a 3.5 kilo dryer, Simpson Electrolux. See, that says Electrolux, that says Simpson, tomato, tomato. So immediately I notice that there's a screw missing here on the door catch, and if you close it and press the button, nothing happens. And I've got power onto this thing, but if I lift this up, you can hear it trying to start, and that I'm manually controlling the automatic door catch there. And I think what that is, I think I've solved this already. I think it's the start capacitor, but we also have a faulty door switch. So hopefully it's just slipped down. I just need to put a new screw in. So I'll take the start capacitor out. I'll swap it out if I can, or I'll replace it if I don't have a spare, and we'll see if we can get this 39p 400 dryer going. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that door is closed so I don't bust the hinges, and I'm going to roll this thing over onto the grass because I know the drum will naturally want to sit down. I'll show you what they're like when you first pull these things apart. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. This is a big part of the reason why these things fail. It's because people are grubs. They never ever clean these out. Anyway, let's take the back off and have a look. Okay, got the back off. Let's have a look. More lint than you can poke a stick at. Lint everywhere. So this is a rear bearing job. I've just taken the lock nut off. You can see that the belt in this one is in pretty good condition. Often these fail. But this bad boy here, this is the capacitor that I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'll take one lead off so that I'm not testing this in circuit with anything else. And I might need two hands to do that, and then I'll get a capacitance tester out and I'll test this and we'll see if that is the problem. Okay, so something I do is to fire up my compressor over there and always clean these things out. Always wear PPE. So what you can see there, if you can read that, 8 microfarads, 450 volts. So let's see if I can bend that a little bit. So let's check that out and see what it actually reads. Now, because I've just tried to fire this up, that capacitor, if it is functional, will be charged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discharge it just by using a pair of insulated pliers, just to bridge those. There we go. So that should now not contain any charge, because what I don't want to do is put my probes in there and get either me get a belt or my capacitance probe get a belt. Alright, that should be discharged and dead. Put my capacitance probe on here and see what we read. Okay, open loop. So this capacitor is not reading anything. I'd say it's completely shot. So I've got the probes on the capacitor, so we know that we need to buy another capacitor. Now you've got to take the heating elements out to actually get to that rear drum. So basically, here are the two thermistors here, the thermal overload protection. So you should check those. They should be closed circuit. And I'm also looking for wire breaks in the heating element just to make sure that it's okay. But these rarely fail. In fact, I've never seen one fail. And let's just do that. I'll just show you. If I put this into resistance mode, do this one-handed, it's quite tricky, I think. So there you go. That's basically 0.3 of an ohm. So basically that's a closed circuit, which is showing that that's fine. To get these out, there's actually a little lock nut on the bottom of these. There we go, I've just lost it, but it'll be in the casing somewhere, and I can pull this off now. There we go, and I can actually read this a little bit more clearly. There we go, it should be 8 microfarad plus or minus 5% at 450 volts, and it's not showing anything. Showing open loop. I'm going to test it on an ESR meter, which gives me a more accurate reading than my multimeter, but I'm almost 100% certain that the capacitor is stuffed. Okay, let's plug this panel meter in, see what it comes up as. Unknown or damaged part. Okay, so this capacitor is stuffed. That's the benchmark. If you haven't got one of these, go and buy one. They're fantastic. Okay, so I've stolen this from a donor dryer. Now I know how Prince Harry feels, bit of a spare. So this is 8 microfarads, 425 volts, which is basically identical. And let's just put the probes on this one. Now, always short your capacitors out before you do anything to them, whether you're testing them with an LED or whether you're hooking them up to a circuit. Always discharge them. Okay, 7.95. So that is absolutely on spec and within tolerance. So I'll put this in the dryer that I'm testing and see if this does the trick. Okay, so this thing is powered up, and if I close the door, you can hear it try and start, but then it stops again. So if I lift this up, the drum spins, does everything it should do, but it's the mechanical interlock for the press button start that is failing. So I'll see if I can fix this. I've put another screw in, but that hasn't helped, so I might have to pull this out and physically work out if there's a little adjustment, so I can slide that up a little bit, because I can see, or it looks like there might be differences in gaps, so I'll have to have a play with that. Now, I've just discovered a very, very hot tip. I've replaced the switch. The switch actually wasn't the problem. The problem was that it was missing this striker plate. So without the striker plate, it cannot guide. See, this door's got a bit of flex in it. It cannot guide the striker up into the right position to push the switch up. And I was working that out because, one, I noticed that the striker plate was missing, and now if I push this in, it works like a dream, whereas before it was only working when I pushed it up. So basically this is working beautifully now. Ready for sale, quick $100, thank you very much. But if you do find one of these, and it may be the switch, but it's also make sure that it has this striker plate, because without it, the door won't close properly because there's too much flex in the door. All right, that's a success, guys.